Baseball fans, you're watching On Deck with Tyler Redmond.
Welcome into On Deck, as always. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. Really do appreciate that. We are, of course, officially in Major League Baseball's postseason, and with that, we are previewing now the American League Wildcard Series between the Blue Jays and the Twins. Now, this one on the surface is pretty interesting because with the Twins, you have a lot of injuries. We'll get into that in just a second, but with the Blue Jays, you have a lot of starting pitching. And I think that sets up well for Toronto. That said, I think you go Kevin Gausman game one. That's already pretty much set in stone. Followed by Chris Bassett. That one is yet to be announced, but he will be on regular rest. And then you go Jose Barrios, followed by Johnny Holstaff. You have Ryu available after that. He didn't play much this season, but he could be impactful in long relief. Maybe even pitching game one of the following series to give everybody a day of rest. Their team ERA this year is ranked number one across Major League Baseball. They got a solid staff from the starters all the way to the bullpen. In the pen, you got Jordan Hicks and Jordan Romano and Trevor Richards, Yimi Garcia, Eric Swanson, Tim Meza. They got a pretty stout, pitching staff. And I think if they make it in the advanced rounds of the playoffs, that's going to come into real effect. And I think it's going to make an effect in this series, though they won't really be able to show off the depth in theory. Their offense, kind of middle of the road, 9th in average, 8th in on-base percentage, 16th in homers. Not a lot of pop. They got a good offense, solid offense, but their real strength is, of course, the pitching. And, I think that ultimately with this series, it's really going to come down to the health. Because I look at the Twins and I have loads of questions. Of course, they're pitching Pablo Lopez in game one, followed by what I would assume to be Sonny Gray, and then Joe Ryan in game three if they get to that. They do have Kenta Maeda, who could be used in relief, could also be used in a later series, division series, if they make it there. But they have a lot of questions, and it's not really in their pitching. It's more so in the offense, because when you look at it and you realize they don't have Carlos Correa, they don't have Byron Buxton, and they don't have Joey Gallo. At least they're not for sure on it. You don't know if they do indeed come back. You don't know what you're going to get out of them if they return. Their stats this year, they're 3rd in homers. They're really dependent on the long ball. They're 21st in average and 12th in on base. So they're not exactly on base machines, but they are very dependent on the long ball to score. And again, I think with the injury questions, I don't doubt that some of these guys are going to play. I mean, we're pretty sure that some of them are going to play. But when you're walking into a series and you don't know if Carlos Correa is going to play, you don't know if Byron Buxton is going to play, and you don't know if Joey Gallo is going to play, I just have a lot of questions walking in. And they seem to have pitching squared away. They do have home field advantage, but with all the questions with the offense on paper, with everyone healthy, I think it's an even series. But given you have all these questions, given you have all, just walking in with all these different injuries and question marks, and I think it's obvious what the pick is. I think you have to go Blue Jays. Now, that said, if all three of those guys play and they seem to be normal, everything fine, I mean, the Twins could very well win this series. Again, I think they have very good pitching. I love Sonny Gray in the 2-hole there. If they win game one and you got Sonny Gray going for you in game two, then you're in good shape. Any team behind Sonny Gray could win a game. But again, I think with the injuries, my pick is going to have to be the Toronto Blue Jays in this series. This is, of course, it's an upset in terms of the bracket, but the Blue Jays have had a great year all year. They're led by, of course, Vladimir Guerrero, Whit Merrifield, Bo Bichette, Matt Chapman, Kevin Kiermaier. They got a good squad, and I think at full strength, so do the Twins. But as of right now, I again have to go with the Blue Jays. I think they have what it takes to get past the Twins, and of course we'll see what happens over the next few days and see who will advance beyond this series and who will go on to face the Houston Astros in the division series. But I think it's going to be an exciting series. I think as we watch Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, Joey Gallo, that's going to be a very big talking point, one way or the other in this series, whether they win or whether they lose. I think that's going to be a very big factor in this series, whether or not Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, and Joey Gallo can return to the Twins lineup, Or will the Blue Jays just run away with this? Either way, one of these teams is going to face the Houston Astros in the division series, and I can't wait to find out who that will be. But do you agree with me? Do you think the Blue Jays are going to win this series, or do you think the Twins will? Let me know down in the comment section below, and please do like and subscribe so that you can stay updated with more videos like this throughout the Major League Baseball postseason and, of course, beyond. And we would love for you to subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time right here at On Deck.
Baseball fans, make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to this channel. As always, thank you for your support.